Do you guys need some music?
Oh, we got music.
Music on Mondays.
On Mondays. We got music.
Music at Mondays. Music on Mondays.
Music on
Music at Mondays. Yeah.
What's up, Hawk Nation? Welcome back to Music on Mondays. I'm your host, Tyler Trainer, and today we got Spelling Tuesday in the studio. We're going to give it up to them.
This first song I like to play is the first song that Dion wrote. It's Cries from Heaven. Your last cry from heaven. It seems somehow she's gone left again. Been dragging my heels, waiting for change. The seasons will pass so many times, and they'll separate ways. Hey, yeah, she cries from heaven. And I heard there was no crying there. Hey, yeah, she hurts in heaven. And I heard there was no hurting there. Hey, yeah, she cries from heaven. I seen her last, the sunshine for a while. I seen a world that might have made me smile, but when I heard forever will she cry, I felt something in me die. That's the way life goes. Yeah, yeah, she cries from heaven. And I heard there was no crying there. Yeah, yeah, she hurts in heaven. And I heard there was no hurting there. Hey, yeah, she cries from heaven. Hey, yeah, she hurts in heaven. Swim sure under your closing tights. I found a new world when I close my eyes. And down the river, there's too many times to go home, and I can't stay under forever, drifting alone. Yeah, yeah, she cries from heaven. And I heard there was no crying there. Yeah, yeah, she hurts in heaven. And I heard there was no hurting there. Hey, yeah, she cries from heaven. Hey, yeah, she hurts in heaven. Hey, yeah, she cries from heaven.
All right, so go ahead and tell us about being in Spelling Tuesdays. Like, this is a band that your father created with his brothers.
But you've kind of recently been added to that. What's that like, getting in something that has been going on for so long?
Well, they started this band back in probably '94, and they were, I think my uncle was 16 and my dad was 14 or 15, and they started off, of course, with a different band name, but they eventually started Spelling Tuesday, and they released their first album, I think in '94 or '95. The album was called Before There Were Stars. On the front of the album, Dion did the artwork himself.
Which had it's got a lot of the Dr. Seuss references to
Yeah.
which are inside
Right.
the album itself. Let's go ahead and talk to us. I was like, definitely there's writing music with these guys, but then there's also playing live with these guys. What's the experience like playing live with your own father and uncle? Is that a cool thing, or is that something that kind of annoys you a little?
It's something to bond over, definitely. They always say, well, here's this young guy that still has hair. We're the old bald guys in the back. That's always their excuse. We're old.
So what got you into playing music, and would you say it's the band that's kind of inspired you to go as far as you have right now?
Oh, for sure, yeah. When I was younger, I would always watch my dad and Dion downstairs, and they'd just play acoustic and sing. When I was probably second, third, fourth grade, I started playing drums. And then they got me my first guitar, started playing on that, just kind of self-taught. YouTube, of course.
Good old Marty Schwartz.
Marty Schwartz.
All right, so drums was actually your first instrument. It's not guitar.
Yeah,
All right, so do you still play drums?
from time to time. Of course, I practice guitar a lot more,
Okay, yeah.
but
So with a lot of the new Spelling Tuesday songs, I'm finding that you're writing or filling in the verses that they haven't written yet, or at least helping fill in those verses.
Yeah.
What's that like, writing on pieces that have already been written on? And these are really good songs. I was like, how pressuring is that?
it's very pressuring, actually. First I have to ask him, what he was going through or what he was thinking about writing these songs. And, from an emotional standpoint, myself also. But a lot of these songs are just about things you go through life. Just good, bad.
So what would you say out of all these songs that you've written right now has been the favorite one that you've gotten to add on to?
We have revamped a lot of the songs because a lot of them were just the first verse repeated for the second verse. I would definitely say either Velocity or Words of Wisdom. My favorite song that he has ever written is Cries from Heaven, though. He wrote that when he was 13 or 14 after his best friend's mom got in a car accident and died, and her kids were in the car and they survived.
That's, yeah,
So
that's
it's a very emotional song, but it's definitely my favorite.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a hard story.
He does not like the song. He does not like to play it, but
You guys
that's what I'm here for.
I was like, I've heard you sing it. I was like, and it sounds amazing every time. I was like, definitely one of those ones
Thank
that
you.
you're like holding back tears while listening to, okay,
Yeah.
it's gonna be fine. So writing all these songs, so what kind of goes through your head? What's kind of the thought process when you're writing? I was like, 'cause I know you're trying to connect to the thoughts that they were also feeling, but do you feel like you put your own emotion into it as well?
Yeah, in the past year, I've been through a lot, and I just use those emotions and just kind of write on paper whatever I'm thinking about, and a lot of them haven't been great, to be honest. Sometimes that's what makes the songs full, is getting real life words.
Just, yeah, out there, I was like, definitely those tough emotions. So we talked a lot about you adding on to previous songs, but are you guys writing new material?
He has been. I've been helping write some of the second verses lately for those songs, but it's just writing music isn't something you just sit down and you're like, okay, I'm gonna write a song. It's more like it just comes to you. You know, you're driving down the road and you see something that reminds you of something. You know, me and him both, we have notebooks in our vehicles. So, you know, if something comes to mind, like a rhythm or a melody or some words that might form something, you know?
All right. Yeah, definitely. I was like, so it is still kind of an active process. I was like, definitely keeping the notebook
Right.
on you is like a great
Right,
idea.
yeah.
Oh yeah. What was kind of your first introduction to all these songs? It's like, I know that you've watched them play all this time, but I was like finally being able to comprehend and actually learn these songs and play these songs with them. What was that like?
Dion has a messed up way of playing. I'm just gonna say that.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and let you play a few songs for us. I was like, we'll be back after this.
Sweet.
That song "Cries from Heaven" is on the first album that they released, and that album is on all streaming platforms under Spelling Tuesday. The song is called "Velocity." I lost myself in the way, but I can't complain. It's got to be a better way than hate. I take my time and figure this out. For lack of better words, I may die out without a fall from the top of the Empire State Building. Where's 1, 2, 3, and you got me. Hey, hey, you know. When it's World War III, and you got me. Hey, hey, you know. Where do we go? Running. Where do we go? Scared. Where do we go? Running. Where do we go? Stars are echoing light, finding holes in the night, blinding neon bus signs. Am I failing this life? Addiction is hard, struggling by the way. Just living day by day. God, please take this pain away. I fall from the top of the Empire State Building. Yes, 1, 2, 3, you got me. Hey, hey, you know. When it's World War III, and you got me. Hey, hey, you know. Where do we go? Running. Where do we go? Scared. Where do we go? Running.
don't eat, I don't sleep anymore. Won't you leave? Won't you leave me alone? Fall from the top of the Empire State Building. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, and you got me. Hey, hey, you know, when it's World War III, and you've got me. Hey, hey, you know. Where do we go? Running. Where do we go? Scared. Where do we go? Running. Where do we go?
This is a new one that Dion wrote. This is called Dark.
Dark, it's dark, and the spark ignites when your eyes light up. They stab and cut. Deep can't describe empty holes in my life, and the door isn't shut. Words are never enough. Is this a fake long term? Jump off these bridges we burn. Nobody shows concern. Lesson learned, lesson maybe will come clean. Clean. And maybe will come clean. She's losing feelings over coffee stains, dying to tell me. She's trying to tell me something. Don't feel far from a boondock scene. Coins on eyes, arms crossed and going off on everything. And hold on, don't let this slip away from me. And hold on, don't let this maybe will come clean. I'm not the one to tie threads so loosely. Sit on my hands while you give your being. Follow the shadow into the unknown. My dreams are best kept in the darkest of places. My past bursts tread and continues to chase us. Stitches unravel and we draw it out. You draw it out. She's losing feelings over coffee stain rings, dying to tell me. She's trying to tell me something. Don't feel far from a boondock safe.
We got Braden back here with us. All right, so let's talk about a little bit of the past of Spelling Tuesday. First, let's get all the members out of the way. Could you tell us a little bit about all the members?
Yes, Dion is my uncle. He's a singer-songwriter, also guitar player. My dad, Patrick, is our drummer, and also he sings backup vocals or harmony. As a younger guy, they want me to be the front man, even though I'm not great at talking. But I play guitar and vocals also, and me and Dion switch back and forth, playing bass sometimes.
All right, so kind of tell us about the start of Spelling Tuesday. I know you know the story, so like the year they started and kind of what brought them into that.
Yeah, they started in 94, 95. And I do have old videos from them playing at Central Park on that stage. And then I have some videos from, local bars from back in the day. And they stopped playing about 2005. I was born in 2003, so it might have been my fault. I don't know.
I mean, a child does stall a little, yeah.
Then just probably 2 years ago, we started back up. And they wanted to involve me in it. I've always wanted to hear them play. Well, I'm involved and supposed to be frontman.
So how did you getting involved happen? Did they come up to you and ask you to join them, or is this something that you always wanted to be in and you finally went up to Dion and Patrick and were like, I want in?
I have always pushed them to play again. And then I learned a lot of guitar stuff from Dion, and they kind of just like, okay, well, you're going to play with us. So I guess if you want me to be honest, it wasn't really a choice, but it was also like, yes.
Oh, you weren't complaining about it at all. Okay. Well, you have a couple of kind of things from their past right here if you want to bring this up. Shout out Northeast. Yeah, so best, Musicians Magazine 1997 Best Unsigned Band Competition. This was kind of put out by Atlantic Records. It's like a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it was a competition of, I believe, 100 bands, like all over the United States. And I think there was another one from Nebraska, but I haven't looked that clearly at it, obviously, because I just see their name. But they were semifinalists in that. Then these are just old flyers or printouts from old newspapers. But
Yeah, there we go.
this first one there.
Oh, you were right. They did have hair.
Yeah, they did. They had some luscious locks. Dion on the left there, my dad in the middle, Patrick, and then there would have been their first bass player, Matt Rohr. But I think it was 15, 16, and 17 in that picture.
Oh, really young? Yeah. There we go. This last one.
And this, I believe this was from a newspaper article, is what it looks like.
Celebrating the release of that first album, definitely.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm putting that out. I was like, you can definitely tell. I was like, there's a lot. I want to say, I was like, I don't want to put a label on you guys that don't like doing that with music, but I would say a bunch of grunge influence, or that 90s heavy rock.
Yeah.
I was like, even here, I was like, in the article, I was like, they quote that they mentioned Dion, the lead singer that time, as the new Kurt Cobain.
Yes.
I was like, which is definitely a heavy title. I was like,
Yeah.
did you grow up listening to that kind of grunge music, and do you bring that in with you now that you're in as well?
I've always been like old school, like Bon Jovi, Van Halen. Those are probably some of my biggest influences, and maybe a little bit of Kiss. Last 2 years ago, me and my dad drove 13 hours to Kentucky to see Kiss and their End of the Road World Tour, and we seen Alice in Chains, Chevelle, Alice Cooper, Rob Zombie, and of course Kiss. But that was it was a tiring drive, but it was worth it.
All the big greats, yeah.
But they grew up with Nirvana, Foo Fighters, you know, that
That style, yeah.
mid-late 90s grunge.
So I know we've talked a lot about the past. I was like, we'll touch on one more thing. I was like, you just kind of re-released their first album for all streaming platforms now?
Yep.
I was like, you want to talk to us a little bit about that? Did you just take the file straight up and upload it, or did you kind of mix it a little bit more, master it, give it a little finaling touch?
No, not really. It was an older CD format, so I had to use a web engineer to convert it over. But I have it on all music streaming platforms, Instagram, Facebook, I think even Snapchat or TikTok, like when you search up the music, they play behind it.
Getting hip with the kids, I
Yeah.
see. All right. Well, we've talked a lot about the past. I think it's time to touch on the future. Where do you see Spelling Tuesday going, and where do you want Spelling Tuesday to go?
You know, I've always been a very quiet, kept to myself kind of person, but I really love to entertain. And I think our goal for the future is to attract a younger crowd to follow us. From back in their day, they still have those people that still follow, but we're playing some newer cover songs, and we want that younger crowd to follow us as well.
Bringing those newer cover songs in, is that something that everybody in the band's been open for? I was like, I know you guys are going Kings of Leon. I was like, we've even seen some things kind of out of touch from your grunge, like Shawn Mendes has been on there. But I mean, like, even though playing, I was like, you guys definitely go out of your genre, I guess, out of the genre that a lot of people associate you with, but you guys make it your own style. I was like, is that something that you've kind of proposed, is bringing in a lot of these newer cover songs?
Yes and no. There's a lot of bands that play a lot of the older classic stuff. Everybody knows. Well, the part of, attracting a younger crowd, you got to play a little bit newer music, of course. So, they'll learn to play it.
Well, sadly, I'd love to talk to you here for hours. Like, we got to get on to a few more songs from you. I was like, and we'll wrap up the show. I was like, thank you so much for coming on. I was like, we can't wait to hear more.
Yeah, thank you.
As of right now, my dad, Patrick, just had back surgery, so he's recovering. He's got 8 to 12 weeks. So as of right now, we don't really have anything booked. But the one thing we do have booked for the future is August 13th, 2 p.m. at Mimosa Fest in downtown Norfolk. So hope to see you all there. This last one's called Paper Wars.
Aching soul finds us both, but I assure you the water comes clean. I can't stay full. You dove in head first, but I found out I shouldn't have come here. And I'm calling paper words, and I'm at a loss of words. Kill me, but ain't that much. It could lead to something else. This ain't over. lost a friend. Shook me to the core and took me to the edge. But I assure you the water comes clean. A piece of myself through a hole in my jeans, and my aching, aching, aching soul. And I'm calling paper words, and I'm at a loss of words. Kill me, well, it ain't that much. It could lead to something else. This ain't over. Well, it ain't that much. It could lead to something else. This ain't over.
All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in on Music on Mondays. I hope you guys have a lovely Monday. Next week, we got Backdrop in the studio. We'll see you then.